Thank you for staying with us. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. This morning, we take a critical look at human rights abuse and infringements in Nigeria. It is the right of every citizen of any nation to express their rights. We have what we call freedom of expression. And of course, citizens of nations have that right to express themselves, through different means, through writing, through the press, through peaceful protests. But unfortunately, sometimes we've seen some cases of excessive use of force by security. So by this time, we should have moved forward. We should have gone past, some stages in the life of our nation as a people. We shouldn't be talking about some cases right now. But unfortunately, if we are still having such occurrences, then of course, we have to talk about them. That's talking about human rights abuses, human rights infringements on citizens of Nigeria and how it affects us as a nation. Every Nigerian citizen should be free, no matter your tribe, no matter your ethnicity. So it is not really about tribe or ethnicity this morning. It's just about being a Nigerian, being free as a Nigerian to express yourself through legal means, and why the security agency should not be using excessive force on innocent citizens of the nation. Join us on the conversation this morning. We have comrade Declan ihekaire. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning, comrade Declan. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
Comrade ihekaire, I want you to quickly share your experience with us. I understand you had a brush with security agencies. I like our viewers to hear from the horse's mouth what actually happened, when it happened, and what role did you play to trigger that encounter with the security agencies. But before you go ahead, before you do that, I'd like our producers just to play a clip we have of you speaking on an interview elsewhere concerning this same issue. Let's quickly have that.
We are leaving now. We have already.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Unfortunately, that was not the interview I wanted to show you, but that's what you just saw now is just protests on the streets, people protesting during the free Nnamdi Kanu protest. And some of them were arrested by security agencies. We understand that his brother and lawyer were actually arrested. But we have Mr. Declan with us. Mr. ihekaire, let's have your view, your opinion on what actually happened.
Thank you so much. I really want to start from this sad note that if our democracy must be right, then our security agencies should wake up and excuse themselves from being sentimental or being biased. The primary duty of the police is to secure lives and property. I was a victim in Lagos on the 20th of October 2025. Before this date, I had formally informed the police authority in Lagos about a lone protest, which I tagged a one-man solidarity walk, hashtag Nnamdi Kanu, free Nnamdi Kanu. And on the 19th of October, being a Sunday, the Commissioner of Police of Lagos State, CP Olondare Moshood, invited me to his office, and we had a meeting where strategies to making sure that my movement was safe, secured, was reached. The route of my movement was well noted. And on the said day, which was on the 20th of October, as early as 6:30 in the morning, I got a call from the police officers that they are on ground to making sure that the movement was fine and peaceful. I got to the starting point, proceeded with the media,
I used to think
down to Pen Cinema, into Total. At Total, I addressed the word why Nnamdi Kanu should be freed. At that point, we decided to move to the same axis in ihekaire. Very peaceful. I repeat, very peaceful. Very peaceful. I moved very peaceful, well coordinated, well guided by the police officers from Elere Division and Area G. But getting to somewhere around Alagba in ihekaire axis of Orilage Lagos State, I was targeted, tear gassed, arrested, handcuffed, kept in a van, a very hot van, my phone taken away. It took the intervention of the area commander of Area G to retrieve my phone. My necklace, worth hundreds of naira, worth 500,000 naira, was taken away by a police officer I can identify. At that point, I was shocked at the statement coming from the law enforcement agencies, some of them, let me put it that way, some of them, who were saying, why are you protesting in Lagos? Why didn't you go to Abia? Why didn't you go to Imo, where you came from? As if I'm no longer in Nigeria. As if Lagos is no longer part of Nigeria. As if the protest was not peaceful. As if the freedom of expression of Nigerians has been cut short by the police. And I made it clear to them that as a Nigerian, I have rights to express myself anywhere as long as it's peaceful. But I was highly disturbed at a time when his very senior officer at the rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police, I understand he's the Mopo 20 commander. And he came, he ordered that I should be brought down from the vehicle, and he threatened. He said they should loosen my handcuff, and he was going to deal with me, and he was going to kill me. I should start the protest right here now. That's going to show me the stuff is made of. It's going to smoke me out. I was disturbed. Such an officer does not deserve to be in a civil arena. This is the situation. And it's quite unfortunate it's coming under this dispensation. During the military, we confronted the military. Our president today was a product, or is a product of protest. The Emilokon language is a language of protest. And so people like us are disturbed, highly disturbed, that we cannot continue this way when voices are being silenced. But I tell you one thing, you can't silence a voice that is right in speaking.
Comrade ihekaire, if I understand you correctly, you said you informed the police of your lone protest. Okay? Was it a written, did you have a written document? You said you informed them of your protest. Is that true?
Yes, I sent a message through a WhatsApp to the OC or the ACP SIB, one ACP Jayoba, who acknowledged the message and called me same day, which was on the 18th of October 2025, that the Commissioner of Police will want to meet me on Sunday, 19th October 2025. I went to the CP's office, as at the time I was asked to come around 3 p.m. with my lawyer, Barrister Kayode Mobojuri. We were there, we had a meeting with the CP. The CP, I must say, is a fine officer who respects the right of people in Lagos to express themselves, but with a caveat that the protest must be very peaceful. And after the meeting, he made promises that signals were going to be dispatched to divisions to making sure that my movement was free. And so the movement was free all through until I was attacked by men from the Pemu Police Division supported by some few police officers from Area G. But I want to commend the intervention of the Area G commander, ACP Vera. I also want to commend the effort of the Commissioner of Police of Lagos State, CP Moshood, who intervened as at the time I was handcuffed and detained in a police van. He called and ordered my immediate release. While I talk to you now, my megaphone was taken away by the police officers who attacked me. My necklace was cut off by those who arrested me.
Comrade ihekaire.
My aluta whistle. Yes, please.
You made an allegation.
My aluta whistle.
Yes, yeah. You said something. I just wanted to draw your attention to something. Quite a serious allegation. You said an ACP.
Yes.
You said an ACP, that's an Assistant Commissioner of Police, threatened to kill you on the spot. Is that true?
Yes. It's not an allegation. That is the truth of the matter. It took the intervention of the ACP, the Area G commander, Vera, to have caution and say,
Comrade ihekaire, sorry to cut you. Do you have any evidence whatsoever that this particular ACP threatened to kill you? Do you have any evidence? In this incident, this altercation is brushed with some police officers in Lagos. Please take a look.
They handcuffed me very tight, and they were making some statements that I heard of. For instance, how could a policeman be telling me, oh, you are even an Igbo man and you are protesting in Lagos? As if they have forgotten. When Jonathan was in power, it was in Lagos we staged the protest against him. It was in Lagos we started all the protests that brought in democracy in this country. Why all this coming from police officers? I was even highly disappointed at the commander of Mopo 20, one ACP Idris. When he came with all his men. He said, bring him down, and I was brought down from the van. He said, remove his handcuff. Let him start his protest. I'll kill him here right now. He was telling me.
They told you to your face.
He told me, the ACP told me. He said, I'll kill him right now. Remove his handcuff. It took the intervention of the area commander of Area G, who happens to also be an assistant commissioner.
There you have it. That was Comrade Declan ihekaire, right there, recounting his experience with some police officers. I understand we have Comrade ihekaire back with us. Comrade, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, while we lost connection with you, we have to quickly play that part of the interview where you were recounting your experience with the ACP who threatened to kill you. And just before you left off, you were about to land on a particular thought. I was asking you if you had any evidence of this ACP, this particular ACP who threatened.
I told you, the evidence I have is on the clip you earlier showed, where I was arrested and taken to the van. The question you should be asking now is, why was I arrested? I was a lone protester, peaceful. Why was I taken into the van? Why was I handcuffed?
And
why was I released?
You also said some valuables were taken from you by police officers.
Absolutely, absolutely. The first thing they took away from me was the megaphone I was holding. Then the next thing was to hold me tight. They dragged me into the vehicle, and it was in the vehicle they were trying to pull my necklace, and it was pulled off. It was in the vehicle, my whistle was taken away. It was in the vehicle, my phone was taken away. But my phone was returned to me through the intervention of the area commander, Area G, who said the phone should be returned to me. And I laid a complaint immediately that my properties are also with the police.
Comrade ihekaire, so after that incident, how did you manage? Were you charged? You were arrested by the police. Were you charged to court for breach of any law? I
wasn't charged because I followed the due process. And the due process was that I had earlier informed the police authority. So and it took the intervention of the Lagos State.
So you were never remanded? You were not remanded in custody and you were
No. I was only remanded in the police van, handcuffed. I was only detained in the police van, handcuffed. But it was the CP of Lagos State who made a call to the area commander of Area G. And the phone was handed over to me, and he spoke with me and asked me what happened. And I explained to him. It was at that point he ordered that I should be released.
I'm afraid we lost connection. Comrade ihekaire, can you hear me? Okay, I'm afraid we lost connection there. We'll try to restore.
Point of arrest, official, by using his own official van to taking me to my place.
All right, so Comrade ihekaire, so that was the end of it. Nothing was said again. You were just freed and left to go.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So my question to you now is, Comrade ihekaire, what legal options are you considering at this point? Because you were unlawfully arrested, a police officer threatened to kill you, and some valuables were taken from you as well. What legal options are you considering?
I was supposed to see the CP yesterday, but when I talk to you now, I'm still in shock of the fact that how could the police, whose responsibility to secure lives and property, could be a threat to an ordinary Nigerian. But however, before the week runs out, I'll make time to see the CP, to commend him, to say thank you to him, at least for following the due process of making sure that I was totally dealt with by the police has been threatened. My lawyers are also preparing a letter to the police hierarchy in demanding probably an apology and to also return my properties that were taken away.
All right, comrade. It's quite interesting to note that you acknowledge the fact that there are still good officers in the Nigeria police. You just commended the CP.
Very well.
The CP who intervened in your case. So we can.
The CP and the area commander, the current area commander, Area G, very excellent officers. I give it to them. Very excellent officers. Before the year runs out, I'll make out time to issuing them an award to have respected the rights of a Nigerian to engage or to embark on a peaceful protest.
All right, Comrade ihekaire, we can't rule out the fact that we have bad officers in the Nigeria police. So it happens in every organization.
I can identify the bad ones.
Yes.
I can identify the bad ones. I can identify those who attacked me. They are attached to Area G command. I know them very well. Even those that tear gassed from the Kanu police station, I can identify them. They were too overzealous, highly overzealous, and they should be called to order. They are the types that are giving the Nigerian police a negative name. They are the ones painting this government as if this government is a deadly government. When you are asked to protect a citizen, and the only thing you have to do is to start issuing threats, making ethical statement. I mean, a statement that relates to why are you protesting in Lagos, as if Lagos is no longer part of Nigeria.
All right, Comrade ihekaire. Hopefully, I strongly believe that you will explore legal options and it will be looked into. Those officers that you identified, of course, they have questions to answer. But before I proceed, Comrade, I'd like you to just brief us, give us an insight into what you've been doing before now. What has been the nature of your work? Before now, have you had any brush? Have you had any altercation, any encounter with the Lagos State Police Command before this particular incident that took place yesterday?
Very, very well. I remember last year, August, when we embarked on embark governance. I was one of the leaders of embark governance protest that was held in Lagos. And I want to say it clearly, that the protest was free, was peaceful, because people like me were there to coordinate. We worked in synergy with the Nigerian police force, with the then Commissioner of Police of Lagos State, now Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 2, AIG Fayode. He was quite a gentleman who worked in synergy with us to making sure that our voice was heard. I also want to say clearly that we have fine officers in the police, but we also have those who are overzealous. And those overzealous ones are the ones giving the police a negative name. I want to say, activism is beyond education. It's something that comes from within. And when people like us talk, when people like us speak, we speak to the truth. Our demand, or my demand, is very clear. Nnamdi Kanu deserves a political solution. It's not a legal issue. It's a political situation that he deserves. Because most of the people telling the president today not to release him are people of questionable characters, are people that even the government should begin to ask questions on why you are telling us not to release this man. And I tell you, releasing Nnamdi Kanu today, you will see those behind the atrocities that are being committed in the southeast. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu today, you will see relative peace in the southeast. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu today, you will see a unity in this nation. I want to take you to what happened on Monday also. In Abuja, Omoyole Sowore called for the protest in Abuja. The protest held until the police came with their normal way of show of force. While I talk to you now, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, lead counsel, was arrested. He has been charged, taken to prison. His brother arrested, taken to prison. I now laugh. I laugh at government magic. And what is government magic there? The protest was not called by the lawyer. The protest was not called by the brother. The protest was called by Omoyole Sowore. Omoyole Sowore, who used to be my comrade, wasn't arrested. He even went to the police station to show solidarity to those that were arrested. He was left untouched, thereby giving an impression as if Omoyole Sowore must have planned the arrest of the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu and his brother. But that is not the true case. That is the divide and rule tactics of the kind of police force we have today. And this should be totally condemned. What have they done? Only to ask for the release of a man that has been incarcerated for years.
Comrade ihekaire, the case of Nnamdi Kanu is quite an unfolding one. We talked about it extensively here on the program yesterday. We understand that there's been, several court orders requesting, ordering his release, but his charges has been, have been amended over and over again by the DSS, and of course the case has been inconclusive, so to speak. What can you tell us right now, Comrade ihekaire, concerning this free Nnamdi Kanu protest? You said you acted on your own, that you embarked on a lone protest in Lagos. So if you are not connected to those in Abuja, so how have you been, synergizing your efforts with them? And what exactly is going on as far as the protest is concerned? Is this the end of the protest? Now that his lawyer and his brother have been arrested, just like you confirmed now, what is actually happening to the free Nnamdi Kanu protest? Is this the end of it, or are you still planning for the protest, or what exactly should Nigerians be expecting from your camp?
What is going on right now is a struggle, a conscience struggle. It's a struggle where people are embittered within themselves. It's a struggle where Nigerians are angry inside, and I pray such anger does not explode. You might not really see anybody on the street again asking for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But I tell you one thing for free. People are angry. And Mr. President should recognize the fact that this is not fair. It isn't fair in the sense that the young man deserves to be released. I had people saying, oh, he's kept in custody because they don't want him to distract Mr. President or the government from functioning. And I asked myself, Nnamdi Kanu is just one out of a million. So how would just an individual be a threat to a whole nation? Mind you, he was arrested, then granted bail. He was enjoying his bail until the military stormed his home, destroyed properties, killed people in his home. And what do you expect of the young man? He had to escape to other country where he was eventually repatriated back to Nigeria. So I want to say clearly, Mr. President is a Democrat who understands the role of giving people freedom of expression. I want to say it. Mr. President was once a victim under the military regime, where he was also arrested And finally, he managed to escape to outside the country, where later he came back to Nigeria and contested elections and won elections. So he will understand clearly what it means for one to agitate and how to address such a situation. He should not be led by sycophants who are telling him stories that releasing Nnamdi Kanu today there will be war, that releasing Nnamdi Kanu today there won't be peace in this country. Now, if Mr. President decides to say, "Oh, if I release Nnamdi Kanu today, I won't govern Nigeria very well," what happens if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu finishes his tenure? Will the young man still be in custody? The answer is no. An injury to one is an injury to all.
All right, comrade ihekaire, just before we leave, what are your final thoughts so far? Looking at human rights, generally in Nigeria, what are your thoughts? What's your opinion? What do you think? Where do you think we have gotten it wrong as a people? And how can we do better as far as expression of, human rights and freedom of expression in legal means to express, our grievances? And that is what we should do as a people, as a nation. And we'll keep calling on the government to do the right thing. The Nigeria police is doing a great job, but again, you cannot rule out the fact that there are, bad elements. There are some bad eggs in the Nigeria police, okay, which also applies to every organization. In every organization, you can't rule out the fact that you might have some mentally deranged individuals in organizations who act on their own. Okay, you heard comrade Declan right there commending the CP and the AIG as well. But again, he singled out an ACP who threatened to, kill him. I don't think that is part of the code of conduct of the police. He acted on his own. And of course, there should be legal means, to pursue that case and make sure that he answers for his actions. That'll be the size of the program this morning. Join us again tomorrow on Morning Spring at Western Spring Television. Emeka Daniel is my name. I'm a Nigerian. I love Nigeria. And I'll keep speaking truth to power. And that's what we do here every weekday on Morning Spring. Do have a wonderful day. Good morning.